Welcome. Today we read Lesson 145 in the workbook and in the text, Chapter 13, Section 11, The Peace of Heaven, paragraphs 7 through 11. And now for Lesson 145. My mind holds only what I think with God. (129) Beyond this world, there is a world I want. (130) It is impossible to see two worlds. Seeing nothing of value in the world of separation that one really wants, there is no loss then in turning away from it to find a world that is joyful and true. In a world of time, all things come to an end, and love does not last. Thus, unbinding oneself from a world lacking worth, one finds a new world arisen in one's awareness. Perception cannot see both worlds, having to choose one based on what one values, the unreal or real, the false or true, fear or love, lack or abundance. The choice is whether to choose hell or heaven. And in the denial of a private world of hell, a world of heaven emerges that can be shared with others, a world of light and truth and true beauty. And now for our text reading for today from Chapter 13, Section 11, The Peace of Heaven, paragraphs 7 through 11. Have faith in only this one thing, and it will be sufficient. God wills you be in heaven, and nothing can keep you from it, or it from you. Your wildest misperceptions, your weird imaginings, your blackest nightmares all mean nothing. They will not prevail against the peace God wills for you. The Holy Spirit will restore your sanity, because insanity is not the will of God. If that suffices him, it is enough for you. You will not keep what God would have removed. because it breaks communication with you, with whom he would communicate. His voice will be heard. The communication link that God Himself placed within you, joining your mind with His, cannot be broken. You may believe you want it broken, and this belief does interfere with the deep peace in which the sweet and constant communication God would share with you is known. Yet His channels of reaching out cannot be wholly closed and separated from Him. Peace will be yours because His peace still flows to you from Him, whose will is peace. You have it now. The Holy Spirit will teach you how to use it, and by extending it, to learn that it is in you. God willed you heaven, and will always will you nothing else. The Holy Spirit knows only of His will. There is no chance that heaven will not be yours, for God is sure, and what He wills is as sure as He is. You will learn salvation because you will learn how to save. It will not be possible to exempt yourself from what the Holy Spirit wants to teach you. Salvation is as sure as God. His certainty suffices. Learn that even the darkest nightmare that disturbs the mind of God's sleeping Son holds no power over him. He will learn the lesson of awaking. God watches over him, and light surrounds him. Can God's Son lose himself in dreams when God has placed within him the glad call to waken and be glad? He cannot separate himself from what is in him. His sleep will not withstand the call to wake. The mission of redemption will be fulfilled as surely as the creation will remain unchanged throughout eternity. You do not have to know that heaven is yours to make it so. It is so. Yet to know it, the will of God must be accepted as your will. The Holy Spirit will undo for you everything you have learned that teaches that what is not true must be reconciled with truth. This is the reconciliation the ego would substitute for your reconciliation to sanity and to peace. The Holy Spirit has a very different kind of reconciliation in his mind for you, and one he will effect as surely as the ego will not effect what it attempts. Failure is of the ego, not of God. From him you cannot wander, and there is no possibility that the plan the Holy Spirit offers to everyone for the salvation of everyone will not be perfectly accomplished. You will be released, and you will not remember anything you made that was not created for you and by you in return. For how can you remember what was never true, or not remember what has always been? It is this reconciliation with truth, and only truth, in which the peace of heaven lies. In this section, we are told that the peace of heaven is realized through the reconciliation of truth. Truth is reconciled when illusions are brought to the truth, and what is not the truth merely falls away into nothingness. One is then released from fears that are no longer held on to, no longer remembered. And then what is remembered has always been true. When one tries to bring truth to illusions, then illusions and the truth exist side by side, and the conflict of a split mind makes peace impossible. To help in this process, one is given the Holy Spirit, the teacher of truth, to reconcile all that one has made, keeping what is true and releasing the nightmares, and restoring one to sanity.